What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we aren't just talking about roller coasters, but amusement parks in their entirety. In fact, we are going to be talking about a certain type of theme park today. As someone who has Cedar Point and Kings Island relatively close to me, I have to say it is nice to see a new roller coaster announced every few years. But I completely understand that there are some parks out there, especially in North America, that are left in the dust. Whether they're owned by a manufacturing company that can't afford a new roller coaster, or they're a part of a massive chain but they get ignored in favor of the bigger parks. So today I'm going to talk about 10 amusement parks in North America that I think need a coaster the most and deserve a roller coaster. Now, this is for many reasons. One, they may have a lot of outdated coasters. Two, they haven't gotten a lot of treatment in a city that has a lot of people or a lot of tourists. Or three, they haven't gotten a coaster in so long, its time is due. So let's get right into the video. These are 10 amusement parks that need coasters the most. The first park we are going to be talking about is Canada's Wonderland in Vaughan, Ontario, Canada, near Toronto, one of the largest cities in North America. So you might be asking yourself, why? This park has a lot of coasters and they add a new coaster every few years. In fact, they added one 3 years ago. Well, I have to say with that, under this park's top 3, they have a whole bunch of not good roller coasters. Look at Wild Beast, Mighty Canadian Mindbuster, Time Warp Flight Deck. All of these rides are pretty poorly rated by coaster enthusiasts, and so I say tear down one or two of these rides and replace it with something good. If they tear down one of the old wooden coasters, I say RMC one of them. But if they decided to take down, let's say, both Flight Deck and Time Warp, you could add something great there. One of the best coasters in the world if they could. Maybe even a mock extreme spinner, similar to Ride to Happiness. I think this would be a phenomenal fit at this park and fit in great. The next park we are going to be talking about is a park that I think that needs a coaster way more than the last. It is Six Flags America in Bowie, Maryland, right in between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. These two cities have such big metro populations, and this being a few miles off of I-95, this should get a lot of traffic, but Six Flags just doesn't put enough money into this park, and hasn't got an original coaster in over 15 years. So I think that needs to change. Put something insane here, like a world record breaking coaster. Something that could be on par with Ride of Steel. In fact, I would love to see something like a single rail coaster here, or just an RMC in general. Maybe they could even close a ride like Roar. Or they can go an alternate route, maybe add a Premier launch, or maybe even an SNS launch. Either way, I think a new coaster is so desperate at this park. So for the next park, we go to yet another Six Flags park. It is Ronde, located in Quebec, Canada. And man, this is in one of the biggest metro areas in North America, in Montreal. Now, I think there's so much wrong with this, and I think it's very similar to America's story. Why is that? Well, it hasn't gotten a coaster in a while, and I think this park definitely deserves it. It's in a metro area with millions of people, and they deserve a better singular amusement park. So, what could they add here? I think an RMC Le Monster would be a very good fit for this park, and maybe even something original, something to add on to their layout, something unique to Canada. But anyways, regardless of what it is, I think a new coaster is extremely desperate here, and overall, just a facelift entirely. Up next, we have a park that you might not have thought about, but it should definitely get a new roller coaster. Next to one of the most visited attractions on the planet, Marineland in Niagara Falls, Canada is desperate for a new attraction whatsoever. And let me just say, this park is so bizarre. If you don't know, it just has a weird, bizarre backstory. I will leave Bright Sun Films' video into the description because he describes it in more detail. But anyways, this is in a very heavy tourist area, and I think this park deserves more love. Maybe add a brand new spanking coaster here, because besides the Tivoli and an aero looper called Dragon Mountain, they have no coasters to their name. Let's continue to another park that people may have not expected on this list. It is Kemah Boardwalk, located in Kemah, Texas, right between Corpus Christi and Houston. These two areas are huge, and Houston is actually the fourth largest city in the United States, and the largest city in the United States by far to not have a major park. This happened in 2005 when Astroworld closed its doors, and I have to say, this definitely needs a new park, but let's pick something that is less exciting but would still help. A new roller coaster at Kemah would be the best choice because Galveston's Boardwalk does not have a lot of room. Anyways, I could definitely see a new coaster near the parking lot area to maybe rival Boardwalk Bullet. Make this park more than a one-trick pony. Add something exciting, add something world class. I think a really good fit here would be a Chance Hyper GTX, something that inverts but also has airtime, kind of combining the layouts of Hot Wheels and Lightning Run. I think that would be a good, cheap, and valid pick. If not that, I would love to see a modern Vekoma here to maybe compete with Codaland, but anyways, I think Houston needs a new roller coaster, and doing this would definitely help. From Texas to Washington, we are going to go to Wild Waves near Seattle. Now, this is another one of those big city doesn't have a major theme park stories, because Seattle is absolutely massive, with a metro population of millions of people. And I think that something new at this relatively small and untreated amusement park would be great. It used to be owned by Six Flags, but now it has another owner, and I have to say that there is not that much added to this park whatsoever. I think a new roller coaster, maybe even an RMC, would be a great fit here, something that would stand out and have tourists from both Vancouver and Seattle flocking to this destination, because let's face it, for an area that has this many people, Wild Waves is a pretty depressing park. The next park we are going to be talking about is a park that I've actually been to. It is Michigan's Adventure in Muskegon, Michigan. Now, this is not near a big city, but the last time that this park got an original coaster was all the way back in the late 90s with Mad Mouse. Ever since then, they got a relocation from Geauga Lake with Thunderhawk, but that's about it, and that's an SLC. Though a good SLC. I have to say that this park deserves something. Nothing major, but I think it deserves something to get the crowd excited. I think that a relocation from California's Great America, which will be closing, is a great idea. Maybe something like either Patriot or maybe Railblazer, but I don't think that Cedar Point's going to put Railblazer here. But Railblazer I think would be a great fit here to maybe even rival Shivering Timbers as the best coaster at the park. Not going too far from Michigan to Wisconsin, we are going to be talking about Wisconsin Dells' very own Mount Olympus. In the water park capital of the world, this is an amusement park that is definitely struggling. I think this park deserves a good steel coaster. Maybe something cheaper, and I would love to see something launched here. Maybe a small-scale Intamin launch coaster, something in the hands of Sandy's Blasting Bronco at Nick Universe, or maybe go a little faster than that and add a small-scale Blitz coaster. I would love to see it, and it would definitely attract crowds here at this park because this park has been losing attendance. Though its water park has definitely been getting more popular, I say we level out the attendance with some more amusement park love. Finally, we go to an amusement park that is also a part of the Cedar Fair chain along with Michigan's Adventure and talk about Valleyfair. This is located a little bit south of the metro areas of St. Paul and Minneapolis, Minnesota, and this is one of the most populated metro areas in the whole country. I know I've said that for a few months in the past, but the Twin Cities have a lot of people and a decent amount of tourism in the summer. So I think even with that competition of the Mall of America, I say Valleyfair should step up their game. Maybe add another roller coaster or two, and there is a perfect plot of land for it at the front of the park. The old Dinosaurs Alive area mixed with the front gate would make a great site for a roller coaster. I think there would be such a big amount of potential at this park because there's not that much to counter with. And something like a modern launch coaster or something like a Gerstlauer looping coaster that would be bigger than Rock Bottom Plunge, I think it would be a perfect fit here to compete with Nickelodeon Universe during those hotter summer months. Anyways, what do you think? Did I miss any parks on this list? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you were to pick, where would you put a roller coaster? What amusement park? What city? Anyways, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.